Hi and a very good evening to you. I hope you've had a fantastic week and you've enjoyed this on and off weather. The wind, the rain last night was horrendous, we all should know. I think it was 45, 55, whatever it may be. But my garden was absolutely blown away, shall we say. Everything, chairs all over the garden, furniture, upside down. It come from nowhere. It's August. Dear me, what would you do for a nice 75, 85 degrees sitting out in the sunshine with a barbecue and making the last few weeks count with your kids who are off school? Dear me. If you're away, you have no problems. If you haven't been away and you were hoping to take the kids away or out for the day, then, oh, come on. Rain, go away. Wind, calm down, sunshine, please come out and just relax, everyone. Well, Grassroots football is returning very, very soon indeed. Couple of weeks you'll all have your brand new football kits. I know the kids have got theirs now, so I can relax a little bit, take a back seat, and hopefully they'll go on to win things and understand that it's just football and it's a great game for them. Wish them all the very, very best of luck. And you may have seen on social media that I have now put a petition out, change.org, you may see it on there. If you haven't seen it, have a little look around for it. We want to try and improve grassroots football financially, and what we're doing is we just need to promote change. Change is better in your pocket than it is out, and unfortunately I think everyone will be agreeing with me that the cost of grassroots football is becoming extreme. The council have just put their prices up. I think the North Liverpool declared it was around about 20%. All the leagues have got to pay more money for the hubs, for the grass pitches, or it could be 12% increase. Now there's that passed back on to all the teams, which is so unfair. Registration fees, referee fees, affiliation fees, insurance, courses, football kits if you're in the team or coach, volunteer, how much is it costing you for your courses? The list is endless at the moment, and I just see grassroots football blowing up very, very soon indeed. It's fantastic to turn around and say, great, our leagues are full, plenty of teams are doing well, but will they continue to do well? When teams start performing or not performing throughout the season, will they suddenly fold? Some managers, some coaches, have they had enough? All the admin, all the costs from the leagues, you know, if you don't make a meeting, if you don't do your admin correctly, there's little fines there, and you could say little £10 is a lot of money for a team, from the kids or from the coach himself or herself paying out their own pocket, which we do know that coaches and managers will do this. Now we've started the campaign just to make sure that we can, or hopefully, bring costs down and give something back to grassroots football, because all these hubs are going to be extreme. They haven't gone up at the moment for training, but they will as the season kicks off and you're all committed. That's when they'll go up. They'll hold back in a few months' time. They'll say we need to increase by 5%, whatever it may be, and the fees for training will go up. And I think they're extreme now, because if you're still going higher, peak time, a quarter pitch at the hubs here on Merseyside, and it may be the same wherever you are, nationwide I should imagine, because these hubs from Leisure United, I think, go all over the country. There's no concessions, there's no giving back to all the teams. There is partner clubs, only a certain amount of teams will go as a partner within these hubs and get cheaper prices, but unfortunately their prices have gone up now, so it's not a win-win situation, is it? What we want is a win-win situation where all the fees come down, training becomes a lot more affordable, cafes become affordable, price increases are given back to concessions, to the teams who turn up. If you've got one team, there should be no reason why you can't have a concession, because you put the kids together, your team together, you're probably a volunteer manager, coach, you've done your courses, you cost you money on your courses as well. They haven't rose yet, but they will do. Level 1 courses, there'll be a lot of money to pay out, £300, £400 for a level 1 course, what it may be. Get all the figures correct. And then if you wanted to become a manager, well, you're going to pay. You really are going to pay. And then when the team kicks off, and kick off in more than one way, there could be a dispute over aggressive behaviour, whatever it may be, and it goes to your local county FA. And don't get me wrong, I do not agree with any aggressive behaviour from the sidelines. Poor touchline behaviour is cancelled out from don't cross the line. There's a zero tolerance we have towards aggressive behaviour, racist comments, bullying, and also verbal abuse. We do not want to see or hear any of that from the sidelines when you go to grassroots football. Now, we're a voluntary organisation, we're a community interest company. As you see me sitting here now, voluntary work. I want to try and put a show on. You might like it, you might agree with it, but we're going to get managers in, coaches in, and parents in as well, just for the cost of grassroots football, and also give governing bodies their chance as well. They want to come in and have a little chat to us as well, because I had 2 teams and we folded them from DXTL. We wanted to sort of experiment to see what the costs are like, what the turn the tables, in other words, what we wanted to see the spectators do. But they've carried on, they've gone to another club now and they'll do well, I assure you. But what I saw in those 2 years with DXTL, Club DXTL, I'd been, don't forget, going back many, many years, I'd been running teams myself. I've been in grassroots football for over 40 odd years, and we started the campaign in 2003, and we made it a CIC in 2008, 2009, a community interest company, which is the next best thing to a charity, which means that everything that we do goes right back into whatever we're doing, to grassroots and things like this, podcasting. You can see the equipment. It will help out in grassroots football. We'll do things, and we'll have a big tournament again next year. Apologies that there's no tournament this year, but again, I'm putting that down to price increases and the affordable prices for the parents and disadvantaged children as well. Now, we do Hearts of Gold towards that as well for mental health, and we've got things coming up in the pipeline which I'll announce very, very soon indeed, because we don't just sit here, we do things behind the scenes, and then we just go for it and make a difference, if we can, to grassroots football. And that's what we have been doing, bringing people together since 2003, making a difference. And I've seen right the way through the admin, the cost of admin, the courses, the cost of courses. If you want to get involved in a football team, it's costing thousands now. It literally is for the season. Now, that season only lasts from September through till May, without games being called off, without fixtures being cancelled due to Grand Nationals, things like this. So you're paying for so many Saturdays or whatever it may be. So there's a price worked out for something like, it's only 60 pence per child per game, and then they work it out like that. But it's not, it really isn't. There's a lot more to it in football terms, because the training as well, you have to sort of like, if you have to book that, there's a lot of costs on that, and you can say, oh well, that's not ours, we only charge so much affiliation. But if you look at the bigger picture and how much it actually does cost you to run a team, it's extreme. So put all these together in one pot, because it's a circle of payments before you can actually join a league, what you need to do. And I know people will say, well, if you can't run a club and you haven't got that much money in, then it's down to yourself. But be honest, you need sponsors, you need money to come in, and some clubs, some teams have no problem doing that. There's not a problem, because they've been saving over the years and they've got a lot of money in their kitty, which should subsidise teams for a few years actually, but it doesn't, because the charges will still go up, subscriptions going into the club, registration fees. I'd love to hear from teams out there and ask or tell us how much you charge a parent or parents to register your child. And I know that then you'll say that coincides with the payments that we have to pay to our local county FAs for insurance, for affiliation, for pitch fees. It all has to pay for that. And then on top of that, referee fees. So it's all separate, and the leagues will tell you that they don't own the referees, they just collect the money and pay them out. But somewhere along the line, I think referees' fees should be capped, depending on levels. And I know I've talked to a lot of referees who agree with me as well, because kids will come and go, and what I mean by that, they'll come in for a month or two and they'll do their refereeing, and then they'll go away with another job, or it's to uni, off they go. So they're just using it as a base, and there's nothing at all wrong with that whatsoever. If they don't want to follow it through and carry it on to the next level, it's entirely up to themselves what they want to do. But they're going to get their courses, and they're going to get passed, and they're going to get a level 1, let's sort of say level 7, moving down to level 1, because it's backwards sort of thing with referee courses. They go from 7 downwards, and then they all compete with each other. Now, if you want to be that referee who wants to move levels all the time and improve their development within refereeing, fantastic. But what I'm saying is then you should be rewarded by your levels, but it should be capped. And I think the FA or the county FAs should take a stance and cap referee fees, because I see some teams bidding for a referee and it can go up to £100 per game. Okay, yeah, fair dues in an adult game, but others will just say, I'll give you £40–50 if you do our game. Well, they're parents or managers who can afford it, and money's no object to them. But there's a lot of parents, coaches, managers, volunteers out there who cannot afford prices like that. So we have to take that into perspective, and we have to look at it. Now, I've seen it, and I'm no big deal. I am no big, oh, why are you doing this? I'm doing it for every child in grassroots football. I'm doing it for parents, disadvantaged, kids who are suffering, kids who can't afford to go out and do sporting activities because their parents can't afford it, they haven't got a job, and the money is getting too extreme. And I know for a fact that there's clubs out there who are doing everything in their power to make a difference to these kids, and brilliant. Get your ideas into us, let's share those ideas, how kids can get free football, because that's what I want to see. I want to see pitches brought back, grass pitches, and I want to see, and hopefully you do, there's nothing better than grass football, because the ball rolls differently, the kids play football differently, studs are different, it all works out to a lot more skills, and I do believe that they pick it up better on grass, I really do, rather than the 3G, 4G, whatever it may be, because I thought 3G is exactly the same as 4G, maybe a little bit more rubber, but hey ho, that's the way it is. But you're paying for 3G tenfold. Now the grass pitches are going up, and you're paying for them as well, and I know the majority of teams will be nodding their head saying to me, we hardly get any games when the grass pitches are called off. Now I know the North Liverpool JFL League put games on 3G, they cancel so many weeks and bring those teams forward because they've lost a lot of games, cancellation. They can do that because they just have enough teams to go in. But if you're a massive league that you can't go inside and fill those spaces up because you've got too many teams, then it becomes a little bit of a nightmare. But I'm looking at it, and I just think that teams who are getting charged to play on grass, these extreme, because the councils say they look after them. Now, they can have 10 weeks of postponements, cancellations due to the weather. Now, they get charged for the full season, and then you have that breakdown of whatever year it is, 60–75p per child to play a game. Well, they don't play those games until it comes towards the end of the season, where you have to play catch-up and play something like 3 games a week. So what's happened to all those games previously? What has happened to them? They paid for the full season. Where's the money gone for those weeks that the council haven't done any work for to keep the pitches updated? And then when they do get cut, I've seen the state of some of the pitches where the grass is just left in mounds all over the pitches, and the kids have got to play football through that. I think it's a joke sometimes. And I just think that we all need to work together and make a difference within grassroots football. I want everyone behind the campaign, what we're trying to do, and I've done that petition today, change.org, and I'd love everyone to sign it. And if you want me to send you the link, get in touch with me, Mal at don'txtheline.com. I'll send you the link, and then you just sign it. It's free to sign, and you may see £3, £11 to join. That's the website. That is nothing to do with Don't Cross the Line and the campaign that we're doing. That is change.org, and we want to try and fill this petition with 100,000 signatures, not just on Merseyside, right across, because I think everyone is having enough of the cost of grassroots football for the kids. And you need to do something about it now, before, further down the line, we lose grassroots football for good. And I want to try and get the Premier League clubs in, and also, excuse me, the Premier League. You know, all these big fines all the players get and what have you, small percentage. Why shouldn't it go into a pot for grassroots football? And this is why I petitioned today, and also sent a letter off to the government regarding all the concerns that we do have in grassroots football. What I've seen, been there, done it, wore the t-shirt, and I know what I'm talking about when it comes to a lot of money. And teams are moaning, teams are getting, you see them every day, it's costing me this, costing me that, to go on this course, this is just a nightmare. Well, put that together and just sign this petition, because then it will get dealt with, because you've got county FAs who have their own hubs, and they rent them out, they have their own function rooms, they're renting them out, making a fortune, and also they've got, you name it, all the courses, everything that will go into a county FA. Now, we can say, yeah, it's a business, and it's a business, but grassroots football should not be a business. It's all about development, what we hear. It's all about kids playing football. What goes back into grassroots football, money-wise? What can we save the kids on? What can we save the parents on? What can we do to keep our volunteers, who are the backbone of grassroots football? I assure you, and I did, and I brought this up before, that I did say this to a spokesman from the local county FA, who clearly disagreed with me and told me that the referees are the backbone of grassroots football. The referees do a job, and without the referee there is no game. Totally agree, but the two separate entities. Without a team, you wouldn't need a referee. Without a team and a coach, you wouldn't need a league. You've got to look at who is bringing the teams in, so those referees can officiate and those leagues can fill up their spaces with. If there's no team and no coach, grassroots football is gone. And we're pricing the grassroots football, the teams, out of leagues. We really are. Because leagues are also sitting on nest eggs. Not all of them, but there's plenty of them that are using it as a stepping stone and building up their pot as it goes on to the new season. I used to run a league, and what we done on our committee was make sure that we spent every penny of that, kept a couple of £100 behind to pay our affiliation fees for the next season. And that, in the FA handbook, is what all leagues should be doing. Because those members who join your league, that's their money. It should all be spent on them. Up your trophies, up your medals, spend that money. Why do you need a pot? Why do you need a pot in the league for the next teams next year? It should all be spent on those teams that are joining you, because they are your members and they do have a say, believe it or not. Now, I'm not sort of making leagues outstanding for their monies. I want everyone to feel part of grassroots football, and if the committees on the leagues are all volunteers anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's not your money, it's not their money. Well, it's the team's money. It should be spent on the teams, and we should be putting that in to bring costs down, not bring them up. And if the hubs put their fees up higher, we shouldn't charge the teams again, because there's a pot of money in there that should be paying and discounting all the prices for the teams. Let's get some free football. Let us get some free football. Please, please, why don't you support our change, for a financial change we want in grassroots football? And we want your support. We need your support. So get in touch with me, Mal at don'txtheline.com. I'll send you the link. Cost you nothing to sign up. It really doesn't. And we could make a difference, and we will make a difference. We want to make sure that those kids are enjoying themselves and parents are not out of pocket as much as they have been. Let's make grassroots football. We all care. We're volunteers who say we care about the kids playing football and developing their skills. Well, if we do, let's make some part of grassroots football free. And if we can get grass pitches back in there with brilliant facilities around them, bring them free. Teams can book in, they can all have free football. Give something back. Let's give something back, and even start a league. And let's just start saying that we can look after these teams within grassroots football and make a difference all around. Keep informed, or I'll keep it informed exactly what's doing, how things are going, how the drainage is going on grass pitches. But first and foremost, we need to bring the prices down. Your league starts in 2 weeks. It won't happen overnight, we know that, but we want to work on it, and that's why we started our petition today to support change. And change is better in your pocket than out. We're only supporting you. Support us back. Let's make a change and a difference within grassroots football. We're bringing people together. We have been since 2003, and we aim to do it right up to 20 whatever. Keep going and support Don't Cross the Line with our change.org petition. We want change in grassroots football. From myself, Mal Lee, and all the team here at the Grassroots Show, Don't Cross the Line, Respect Programme, change.org with We Want Change in Grassroots Football, Heart of Gold Initiative, no ref, no game. We'll see you tomorrow, round about 6 p.m, if not a little bit later. From myself, Mal Lee, and all the team here, have a great evening. Good night, God bless.